almost didn't recognize himself in that introduction. I met a new friend today, Mr. Vince Rawls. I'm really honored to meet him. I have a special place in my heart for real heroes like that. The men who fought in World War I and World War II, and the men and women who fought in Vietnam and the men in the Korean War. To me, those are the true heroes. People tell me, thank you for your service. Especially when they're veterans, I feel I don't deserve that. You're the ones who you should be thanking. Anyway, thank you for having me. And I'm really greatly honored to be here among the greatest of America's heroes today. My name, as you heard before, is Elizabeth. And I often introduce myself by saying, yes, just like the Queen. I was born and grew up, if you can't tell already, I have a funny accent, in the island nation of Jamaica. And like our founding father, Alexander Hamilton, became a Caribbean immigrant to these shores. America has given me almost everything for which I am deeply grateful. A sense of confidence, pride, and a sense of who I am. I initially joined the Air Force as a board-certified family medicine physician and then spent several years in civilian private practice. And then shortly after joining the Air Force a second time, I trained to become a flight surgeon, and then went on to complete a second residency and board certification in aerospace medicine. This is also referred to as the residency in aerospace medicine, and its trainees and graduates alike are forever known as RAMs, R-A-M, RAMs. I am RAM number 976. That is, I am the 976th flight surgeon to be board certified in this field since the Air Force began in 1947. So yes, I am RAM number 976, and as of the last few minutes, the only female colonel RAM of color in the U.S. Air Force. But I'm not unique, and I will explain why. So, in the fall of 1912, David Clemetson, a young Jamaican, quote unquote, of racially mixed heritage, was sent abroad by his parents to read law. That was the terminology used to describe a law student in those days. He had completed his high school studies at Clifton College in England, and now returned to follow in the steps of so many before him by enrolling in Trinity College, Cambridge University. David enjoyed university life and even became a member of the prestigious Cambridge Rowing Club, rowing in the Lent bumps on the River Cam. Somebody asked me, what is the Lent bumps? So in England, specifically at Cambridge, I believe, the rowing competition is called the bumps. And the Lent bumps were the competitions that took place during Lent. He also played rugby and cricket. But everything changed when England declared war on Germany in August of 1914. And this young student decided to volunteer in Lord Kitchener's army. He was first assigned to the Sportsmen's Battalion of the Royal Fusiliers before becoming an officer with the Pembroke and Glamorgan Yeomanry. By doing so, he achieved much more than one might think today. The following is a direct quotation. In 1914, the Manual of Military Law enforced restrictions on non-citizens of Britain and black soldiers from command roles in the British Expeditionary Force. Indeed, it prevented any Negro or person of color being promoted above a sergeant. This was a rule that was explicitly brandished as potential to all potential recruits. And the question would be asked, do you solemnly swear that you are a person of pure European descent? That was the question that they were faced with. Lieutenant Clemetson, a Jamaican, did not lie, as records show some did to overcome this racism. Staying true to his identity, Clemetson was able to take the position of second lieutenant. To this day, it's sort of a mystery as to how that actually happened. But it is thought he may have been the first person of color ever to be commissioned as an officer in the regular Royal British Army. In 1917, while suffering from what we today understand to be PTSD, he was sent to Craig Lockhart Psychiatric Hospital, Scotland, to recover. But on his way there, his ship, the Dover Castle, was torpedoed. David was one of only 20+ soldiers who survived. While in Scotland, he received word of his promotion to first lieutenant. And then 3 months later, despite a new policy of not returning soldiers with shell shock back to the battlefront, he was somehow deployed again to rejoin the yeomanry. Okay, for the next paragraph, I'll be reading an excerpt, short excerpt from the book, Welsh Yeomanry at War, A History of the 24th Welsh, written by Stephen John. And I would like you to close your eyes just a second and listen to the words and imagine being at the following scene. At 5:40 a.m. on 21 September 1918, near Péronne, France, a new creeping barrage began. The 24th Welsh had dug into newly gained positions during the night after a day of heavy fighting casualties. One officer and 12 other ranks had been killed. On this day, the attacking troops of the 74th Division rose from their trenches again with the objective to capture the Blue Line. However, between them and this objective lay the strongly defended Guillemot Farm, a veritable fortress. Unfortunately, confusion reigned supreme that day. Their way was blocked by thick barbed wire entanglements, and they were shot at from behind. Other brigades were being attacked heavily by the Germans. The tanks of the Shropshires advancing in the rear failed to even reach their attack starting point. The 24th Welsh lost direction, and instead of attacking Guillemot Farm, found themselves following behind the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, while the 18th Division was again held up. The left flank was not defended, and the Germans took advantage of that, pouring reinforcements into the fray through the quadrilateral. Then they began pouring fire in the rear of the RWF and the 24th Welsh, who attempted unsuccessfully to bomb the Germans out. You may open your eyes. The division suffered heavy losses. 143 officers and 2,712 other ranks were wounded. 8 officers and 188 other ranks missing, and 34 officers and 436 other ranks killed. The 74th Division was finally relieved by the 27th American Division on September 24, 1918. The 24 Welsh lost 2 officers, Lieutenant William Wolfe and my grandmother's first cousin, Lieutenant David Clemetson. He died 52 days before the end of the war and just shy of his 25th birthday. He's buried at the Unicorn Cemetery near Péronne, France. Back home in Jamaica, he was mourned by his parents and brother Clifford. His hometown of Port Maria memorialized his name as the first one listed on the War Memorial Cenotaph because he was part of the regular British Army and not the West Indies Regiment. A friend penned the following words: "Somewhere in France you are sleeping, the warrior's last sleep, far from the land that gave you birth and the eyes that for you weep. So a last salute we offer you, the last farewell we'll wave. God rest our gallant countrymen till we meet beyond the grave." So what did my cousin and I have in common? We both felt a great sense of responsibility to give back to our adopted homelands. Each of us left Jamaica to further our education, he in law and I in medicine. For him, it was the Great War. For me, the War on Terror. Neither of us cared that we were joining ranks where no one else looked like us. It has always been about the mission: integrity, service before self, and excellence in all we do.